devices and critical devices which we have to see as per the critical guidelines of the network. So basically, when we, I think, hope all the members have seen till date, like I think hardening techniques are covered, Atul. Hardening techniques of the system, servers, and PCs have been covered, hope, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is covered in
Okay.
the first session.
Okay. So I think today we'll be discussing about, like, suppose if we go to any organization, how a audit can be performed. Okay, so what are the tools and what are the things we have to check, and what are the conditions and what are the prerequisites, and how this various operations can be implemented, and how an organizations can be protected from the various vulnerabilities, etc. Okay, so basically our mission is to ultimately to protect the organization's ability. So maybe in the form of your firewalls, maybe in the form of your devices, switches, maybe in the form of routers, etc. Okay, so end of the day, like we are protecting the data. Okay, and also like we'll see like how technology assets, like various assets are there, right, in the network. Suppose if we connect our PC, if we connect our server, so it's not something like you are blindly connecting your PC and your these things have been connected and it can be done. Okay, so there are some kind of end user devices, there are some kind of security devices are there in the perimeter level where your server, where your data is protected. Okay, so we'll see like how a basic suppose if we go to any organizations. Okay, so some audit kind of things are happening, so how a critical infrastructure can be protected from the so on so on. Okay, so hope these are the some of the tools, vulnerability scanning tools. जैसे कि एक Nessus Professional is there, Nexpose is there, OpenVAS is there, Bellark Advisor is there, Microsoft Baseline Security Advisors are there. Okay, so these are the some of the tools which are free in the market. You can happily download and you can just use for your vulnerability scanning. Okay, so Nessus Professional comes with limited IPs, that to 16 IPs, where you can download the same thing from the Tenable Nessus. The Tenable is the company which owns the Nessus Professional. Okay, so it has some around 16 IPs, 16 IPs, that too in trial version. Okay, suppose if you want to go like commercial ones, so you can just scan for the unlimited IPs. Okay, Nexpose is also free for the sometimes, like suppose if you, but limited features are there if you are going for the trial version. Okay, OpenVAS, this is very good tool like compared to like Nessus and all those things, as because there are some additional features are available compared to Nessus and Expose. Like okay, some additional features in the sense like patching management and risk management, and auto discovery of host, and such kind of facilities are there in the OpenVAS. Okay, Bellark Advisor is something like you have to be installed in your what we say like PC. So there are two types of tools, like one is standalone and another one is you can scan in the network regions. Okay, so basically one more tool is there, Microsoft Baseline Security Advisor, so which also gives you some level of your vulnerability scanning. Okay, but basically this is only applicable to your Windows machines, etc. Okay, so there are n number of tools are there. Like if you visit the Kali Linux website, or if you install the Kali Linux, so there are a lot of tools are there with respect to vulnerability scanning, penetration testing, for individually for wireless, individually for your such type of devices. Okay, so basically what you mean by Nessus, basically okay, it's a vulnerability scanner, you can say, and also like compliance checker. In the other way you can say like detect. So also you can just by running the Nessus. Okay, so hope how many members will have the basic idea about the Nessus? Any idea about the Nessus here? Nessus tool के बारे में किसी को idea है? Any of you have idea of the Nessus or Nexpose here? Any idea about the Nessus, Nexpose, or what are the tools which I am discussing here? Okay, I think yeah. So let me just go in deep about this some of the scanning tools. Okay, so basically these are the some of the tools where we have to get a missing security updates and patches, and also like we have to get the accurate scanning with low false positives. Okay, like suppose if you are scanning all the, maybe it might be your server, it might be your web application, it might be your website. Okay, suppose if you scan through the Nessus. Okay, so we can get sometime we can get the false positive result also. Okay, so at that time you have to see whether the results are which we have done the scanning, whether it is really existed or not. Okay, so how you can check is like by logging into the PC or logging into the server or by logging into the network devices, you have to check whether it is really it is applicable. Whether suppose if you are scanning a Windows machine, but you are getting a Red Hat or some kind of Linux vulnerabilities. Okay, so that means like you can blindly say like you got some false positive results. Okay, but for some reasons like with respect to the trial version, so there are some chances of getting a false positive results. Okay, so you should be in the in the state like you have to see suppose each and every results whether it is matched with your whether it is matching with your softwares, whether it is matching with your platform of your OS which has been installed. Okay, so advanced scan for networks, websites, operating systems, and mobile devices. That means like it scans for the networks, it scans for the websites, it scans for your operating systems. Okay, maybe operating systems, maybe your Linux, your Windows, and your Mac operating system, etc., etc. Okay, mobile devices. If it is a mobile application, so only the necessity is only concerned with about the your IP address, right? So your IP address should be there and it should be connected into the network, and Nessus tool should have the valid network. Okay, so if it is a network, if it is connected in the network, so automatically your IP can be scanned. Okay, so network in the sense like suppose you have installed your tool, that means Nessus in the one network. Okay, but you are scanning a systems or network devices of another network. Okay, so is it possible or not possible? So thing is like for scanning through Nessus, you should be in the same network only. Okay, and it is also have the various plugins of 149.792 plugins. That means so different vulnerabilities and for different viruses or for different these things, your plugins are updated. Okay, once it connected to the internet, so for the first time the Nessus will be auto update its plugins. Okay, so this such kind of information can be downloaded from the internet also. Okay, if you want to recently update your plugins and all those things. Okay, so this is one of the dashboard of the Nessus Professional. There you have an advanced scan. Suppose advanced scan is nothing but you are configuring a scan without any recommendations. Okay, that means like just give a IP address and scan it. Okay, so it gives you the infrastructure part and gives the scanning result, etc. Suppose if you are going to the audit cloud infrastructure. So what do you mean by audit cloud infrastructure? So that means devices or servers or PCs which are kept in the cloud. Okay. So that means like your complete network is located in some cloud. Okay. So you should have a proper scenario, like you should be connected. You should connect the same thing to the VPN. Okay. Once you connect the VPN, so automatically your PC might be into their network. Okay. So once it is connected to the cloud, so you can also scan. Okay, and this is one of the bad log detection feature which is used for the remote vulnerabilities. Okay, if you are connected to a remote desktop, so it is used to check any vulnerabilities are present with respect to the remote desktops. Okay, and there are some kind of attacks which are recently which are happening nowadays is like through your shell. Okay, that means it doesn't require any media, like it doesn't require any kind of software vulnerabilities. It doesn't require any kind of network based vulnerability. It doesn't require any browser. Okay, it just require your shell. Okay, that means like once it comes through the shell, so automatically it executes some kind of ransomware or malware, so it hides your network and it just leaves to the facings. That means like by using the shell also we cannot able to detect in the log files. Okay, so some kind of remote vulnerability which are happened, so even though by seeing your log file we cannot able to check. Okay, so these are some of the things which can be possible, and followed by your all internal PC and network scan is there. Malware scan also you can do. Mobile device scanning is also possible. Offline config audit is nothing but there is some network devices configuration file is there, so you can scan it. Okay, so PCI quarterly external scan, that means like banking critical infrastructure which is more dependent on your financial these things, you can do it. So such kind of things you can check and you can do it. Okay, so ransomware, suppose if you want to find out the any ransomware availability in your network, so you can also do the same thing. Okay, So these are some of the things and some of the features of your Nessus professional tool. Okay. So coming to the next tool, which is an OpenVAS and which is a free version, which is also a free version, and it is a full-featured vulnerability scanner. Okay, and it is a free tool under the GNU General Public License, which is maintained by the Greenbone Networks. Okay, it also gives a very good results compared to the your Nessus, but the disadvantage of the tool is it doesn't give any policy kind of things. Okay, so that means like policy compliance and all those things will not be given by this OpenVAS tool. Okay, so different tools have the different mechanism. So being an auditor, being a system admin, being a network auditor, so always you have to see what exactly the tool is giving, whether it is giving a correct result or whether it is giving any false positive results. So you should be in your mind and should see what exactly the results are giving. Okay. So coming to the Billark Advisor tool, which is also a free tool and also gives very good results with respect to your systems or servers, etc. Okay. So Bellark is not applicable to your network devices. Okay. You should keep in the mind like Bellark Advisor doesn't work for your network devices. Okay. So Bellark and Bellmanage. Bellark is your it's a free source. I mean, like it's an open source, and Bellmanage is something kind of commercial. You can use into your enterprise edition. Okay. So same thing like it gives a detailed profile. Suppose a Bellark is installed, right? So it gives the detailed results of your tool, what exactly it is given. Okay. So such kind of things. So it gives the default details about the softwares and hardwares which are installed. It also gives the network inventory list, and also it gives the missing security hotfixes and what is the antivirus status, whether the security benchmarks have been installed or not. So such kind of information it will be clearly given by the Bellark Advisor. Okay. So that means like I can say in the simple thing is like it gives the complete information about your what we say like what we say like your information about your software is installed. Okay, so it gives your information about your what exactly this what the network inventory and any antivirus status and all those. Okay, so these are some of the things which you should be familiar while you are auditing anything. Okay, so also you should see like what are the antivirus status, what are the security benchmarks are there, what are the network inventory list, what are the RAM size, and it gives the complete hardware information about your sizes and all this. Okay, so these are some of the things which you have to be familiar and should be keep in mind like what exactly you are doing. Okay, and also like Bellark is only applicable for your servers and desktops. Okay, it is not applicable for your network devices and all those things. Okay. So coming to the another tool, sys-cat. Okay, so syscat-lite is a free tool, and there is one more tool under the syscat is a syscat Pro, which is a commercial tool. Okay, which is a commercial tool, and you can also download the same thing from the URL which is given in the below of your slide. Okay, www.cisecurity.org cybersecurity-tools. Okay, so this is one of the tool actually where you can download your this tool and you can run this same thing. Okay, so this is also one of the configuration assessment tool. That means like if you are scanning, okay, so if you are scanning you will get all the results. Okay, so results are with respect to your missing patches and what is the level of your hardening. Okay, so the reports and it is both the thing, whether you can do the same thing from your GUI and also you can do the same thing from the CLI mode also. Okay. So the reports may be in the form of your HTML, CSV, and your text format. Okay. So once the scanning is done, you can import in your desired format. Okay. So the prerequisite for installing the CIS-CAT tool is you should have a compatibility GRE. Okay, Java must be installed in your PC where or your laptop where you want to run this CIS-CAT. Okay, as I told, there are two types of things are there. One is commercial tool and one other is CIS-CAT. If you want to enjoy this assessment, you can download the Syscat Lite tool, okay, which is a free and open source tool. You can download and you can install in the PCs. Okay. Yeah. So I think these are the some of the standard guidelines. Okay. So one is your Center for Internet Security, which stands for the CIS, and another one is STIG. STIG stands for your Security Technical Implementation Guideline. Okay. STIG and the NIST, National Institute for Standard Technology, and PCI DSS. Okay. PCI is nothing but your payment card interface. DSS is your something like if you are auditing any banking and financial these things. So these are the guidelines we have to compulsory we have to follow. Okay, it's not like something like if you are auditing any what we say like power sector. So the guidelines will be with respect to the power guidelines. Okay, and if you are auditing any financial or banking, so you have to compulsory you should keep in mind like the concerned guidelines. Like suppose PCI DSS guideline has to be followed. Okay. Suppose if it is a defense, so defense is as follows the STIG. Okay, STIG and DISA. So STIG is a security technical implementation guide. So suppose in case of any network audits, in case of DC or infrastructure audit, so you have to follow your this NIST standards. Okay. So these are the some of the four guidelines where you can follow for your different audit mechanism. Okay. So basically, CIS stands for the Center for Internet Security, and it is a center for non-profit organization. So ultimate mission is to identify, develop, validate, and promote, and also it sustains the best practices solution for cyber defenses and build and lead communicates to enable an environment trust in cyberspace. Okay. So these are the basic CIS standards actually. So where we have designed and we have developed. Okay. So such kind of standards like suppose if it is an what we say like data center, what are the standards we have to follow? Okay. If it is an power sector, what are the standards and what are the guidelines we have to follow? Okay. So we have overall 20 CIS critical security controls which are implemented and developed. Okay. So if you want to download, you can go to the CIS security benchmark and you can download and you can work on this what we say like benchmarks. Okay. So coming to the next standard, which is an STIG, it stands for Security Technical Implementation Guide, which is used to standardize the security protocols. Okay. Security protocols for network computers, servers, and different network devices, etc. Okay. So ultimately, our aim is to enhance the overall security. Okay. So enhance security for your software, enhance security for your hardware, enhance security for your physical, enhance security for your logical architecture. Okay. Suppose you have a biometric device, right? So biometric device, something like we don't have any scanning tool and all those things. Okay. So we should keep in the mind like you should have a policy and you should have a guidelines or standards. Okay, to audit such kind of devices. So if you go to the CIS controls under CIS control 7 or 8, you will find the biometric devices audit also. Okay, that means for doing any audit, okay, so you should follow all these implementation guidelines and the standards. Okay, suppose if you are going to some what we say like which is an education related thing. Okay, education organization or some kind of organization which hosts this education related things. Okay, so at that time you have to follow the what we say like NIST. That means like National Institute of Standards. Okay, so these things you have to follow thoroughly, and what exactly these guidelines are telling, what exactly this framework says. Okay, so these are some of the things and guidelines and standards where we have to follow while we are doing any audits with respect to the benchmark scores. Okay, PCI DSS is something like the payment card industry data security standards, and it ensures process, store or transmit credit card information and maintains a secure environment. Like something like if you're storing any credit card information or debit card information, so that database should also have a secure environment. Okay, so that database when it is transmitting from one place to another place, so that if it is transmitting in a network, that we have to see whether that network is very secure or not. Okay, so that means what kind of channel you are using, whether the secure channel is followed or not. Such kind of methods you have to see. Okay, so use and maintain firewalls, proper password protection you have to use, and you have to use the protect cardholder data, and you have to see encrypted transmitted data is there or not, whether those web server or web application or server is using a or maintaining any antiviruses or not, you have to see. Okay, so these are some of the requirements when you are editing any PCI DSS compliance. Okay, and also sixth step is your whether they are properly updated, they are using properly updated software or not, whether the data access, whether if suppose any normal user is there, suppose if he is accessing data access. Okay, so if how the data access has been provided to a particular user, how a data access is provided to the manager, so how a data access is provided to the director level. Okay, so such kind of things will be has to be followed. Okay, so and coming to the unique IDs for access. Okay, suppose there is a user access created. Okay, so whether those unique IDs are created or the same IDs has been implemented across all the project. Okay, so such kind of also things you have to see, and what is the restricted of physical access. So physical security is one of the main critical core of the audit point of view. So always your physical security should be in the place, and you have to see what kind of physical security, whether it is a biometric, whether it is a two-way something kind of you are just locking in a proper case. Suppose any biometric device is there. So how this biometric device is implemented, whether it has a device access with the particular owner, whether this device is having the access to the particular manager. So such kind of things you have to see and you have to thoroughly check. Okay, and you have to maintain the access logs. Okay, suppose if some kind of intrusion happens. Okay, so always there is a necessity you have to maintain that access logs. Okay, so access log is something like I am the user who has logged into the biometric device. Okay, so I should be in the state like Tayyab has access such kind of device, such kind of web server or such kind of server. So at what time or what date he has access. Okay, so such kind of things you have to check, and you have to see कि अगर कौन से time में आ रहा है, what are the dates he has access. Okay, scan and test for vulnerabilities, जैसे कि suppose if it is a network related thing, so if it is some kind of server where you have implemented these things. Okay, suppose you have implemented on the top of your Windows OS. Okay, so it's your Windows OS should also be properly protected, and you should also be tested with the your what we say like your vulnerabilities. Okay, so these are some of the things you should be keep in mind, and also you have to document all the policies, supported documents, supported guidelines, supported policies also you have to see. Okay, so suppose if policy says ki you should not access the software or web application or web services through some protocol. Suppose that is a telnet protocol. Okay, but users and other persons who are accessing these devices are using a telnet, which is an unencrypted protocol. Okay, so but that means like your policy is they are not following the policy. Okay, the policy violation is happening. So at that time you should always keep in the mind what are the policies which has been written for the same device. You have to follow it. Okay, so coming back to the hardening. So what basically hardening is like a process of securely configuring the system. Okay, so that means like if I take suppose I took a laptop from the market, right? I took a laptop from the market, and that laptop has been configured with the A settings, right? A settings. But being a security auditor or being an ISO certified member or being an CISO, so what I have to do, I have to check whether this A is properly hardened or not. Okay, that means like I should add a +1. Okay, so that means I have to harden my PC. That means harden in the PC, like as you seen like previously, like securing the patches, updating your antivirus status, updating your software patches, and you are keeping your vulnerabilities free. Okay, so such kind of things you have to be see when you are doing such kind of audit. Okay, and also correcting the misconfiguration, disabling unnecessary and vulnerable services, make system more reliable. These are the some of the things where your hardening plays a very major role. Okay, so ultimately is you are protecting your system from the exploits and attacks. Okay, and OS hardening, how OS hardening can be done? Like suppose you can see the OS hardening in every this thing. Okay, suppose if you have a network device, it has a firmware. Suppose if you have the web application or web services or any website, it has the web servers. Okay, web servers nothing but it has some web services. A web service is nothing but it has some kind of softwares, or it has some what we say like base operating system where on the top you install some kind of softwares. Okay, for each and every access you have to follow these are the guidelines. Okay, so that means like you have to install OS updates and patches, remove unnecessary services and applications, restrict access to the OS critical binaries and system configuration files, and least privileges. Okay, least privilege is nothing but Tayyab is the user who is a normal user. Okay, and there is one more user with Naresh. He is the admin of the devices. Okay, so always you should give a privilege, lowest privilege to the user, and the highest privilege to the admin. But admin privilege should be always disabled. And suppose there is a one more user who is admin, you should give a least privilege. Okay. Suppose that means like suppose if any unintentionally or intentionally things have been happened in with respect to your network devices or web servers, it should not create any problems. Okay. So rename and disable guest account. Okay. So guest account is always it's mandatory. You should always disable the guest accounts. Okay. By doing this, you can your system is secure and you can check what exactly these things. Okay. Okay. Because you can see like the guest account is enabled in each and every PC, each in every servers. Okay. So as a hardening point of view, you should always rename or if not required, you can disable the guest account. Okay. So auditing the critical files. Critical files is nothing but there is a web server, right? We have a web server and that web server is a Apache Tomcat web server. So always you have to see whether the files which have been kept under your web server, whether it is free from all the ransomware, malware, integrity check you have to make and see whether it is protected from all kind of attacks or not. Okay. So hardening of the systems. So I think you know this setting a BIOS firmware password. How many members have the basic idea about the setting a BIOS or firmware password? How many members have the basic idea about firmware password or setting a BIOS password? Any idea about from the chat? How we can set a BIOS password or how we can check for the these things? Okay. So these are the some of the physical security. Okay, physical security where your firmware can be BIOS can be given some kind of password. Okay, and always like configure a bootloader to prevent booting from the unauthorized media. Okay, like suppose if you see back to installation of the OS or web services or your server OS. So always you have to configure your boot order to suppose if I during the boot time, if I keep the BIOS, I mean like boot option. So always like if a system or your laptop, your server is there. Okay. So always it should boot from your hard disk. Okay. Suppose because basically your OS is resides in your hard disk, right? And some settings we have seen like there is your pen drive is also detectable and your option is enabled here. Okay, so that means like you should always disable all this pen drives and CD, DVD booting options and all this. Okay, because I am the attacker. Okay, so somehow I got a physical access to your server. So what I will do means I just keep my pen drive with some kind of virus infected files. Okay. So, or what I will do means I just keep my operating system as a ISO file. Okay, I will boot the same thing from the bootloader. So that means my OS, there are some chances might be your OS maybe get corrupted. Okay, so configure a screensaver to lock unintentional systems. Okay, so configure event log retention methods. So configure event log retention methods and disable or deleted unuser users. Okay. So users are something like suppose there are some users who are like, suppose if there is a normal user, there is an admin user, you have to already you created. Okay. But as per your policy says ki, this what we say, like there are n number of users created. Okay. But which is not needed for your network devices or your servers or websites or any system login. Okay. So at that time you have to uh, disable or delete that users. Okay. So unintentionally keeping n number of users or something like you are giving a invitation to the attackers to change something. Okay. So as a best practice, we should keep one or two passwords. I mean, like one or two user accounts, that too strong password combination of special case characters, and it's the length of the password should be always more than 14 characters. Okay, it's not something like 8 characters password हमने रख दिया है, सारा secure है और सारा safe है. Okay, so nowadays as a new technology, as a new encryption, as a new kind of attacks are possible. So always you have to see the users should be limited to that version. Okay, so these are some of the things, hardening steps, and these are some of the antivirus steps. So we just go directly. Shall we take a break for 2 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So we'll join after 2 minutes immediately.
Okay, sir.
Just sharing my screen. Huh? So I think, hope you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
It is a firewall audit checklist or something like hardening process, right? Yeah. So this is suppose if you are auditing any firewall or some kind of critical infrastructure, right? So these are some of the points. Like I'll just go some of the basic points where exactly you have to check and what harden your this thing. Okay. So whenever you go to any organizations or whenever you are planning to make any hardening document or any hardening document is nothing but some kind of SOP also you can say. Okay. So you should always make sure you have a copies. Okay, copies of security policies and some kind of procedure documents with respect to that device. Okay, and always like suppose if you visit any organizations, right? So there are some network diagrams. Okay, network diagrams of the current and what exactly the topologies of the firewalls. Okay, so this can help you make sure like all what are the devices which are connected into the network, right? So what are the protocols, what are the systems being utilized, and what are the logical network, जैसे कि एक network से दूसरे network किस तरह से आपका network connect हुआ है, right? Suppose I'm sitting in Hyderabad, how the network is connected to the Delhi, suppose there is an connectivity in Delhi. So how a user is connected to the Hyderabad. Okay. So these are the some of the things you have to keep in mind, and this all logical network separation is identified. Okay. That means like virtual LANs, VLANs, whether the VLANs are configured or not. So these are the some of the things we have to keep in mind. This is with respect to network diagram. Okay. Suppose with the physical diagrams, physical diagram में क्या होता है कि जैसे कि आपका switch है, right? So there are some 24 ports which is there. Okay. But as per your operation and as per your functional these things, so only the limited 10 or 12 ports are open. Okay, that means the 12 ports are not in use. That means it is, I mean, like the ports are enabled, but nothing is plugged in. Okay, so at that time there is a need of disabling that ports and all those things. Okay, so administrative you have to down that interfaces or you have to down that ports. Okay, because that there are some chances. Okay, there are some chances like if someone can connect to that port and they can scan your network and do some kind of malicious activity. Okay, so always what is objectives. Okay, जैसे कि आपका firewall लगा है and why it has been kept in the firewall mode. Okay, जैसे कि एक firewall लगा है तो उसका mode क्या है, उसका objective क्या है. Objective in the sense जैसे कि मेरा banking sector है, मेरा I am sitting in my some kind of research organization, whether it is blocking all malware these things, whether it is blocking all ransomware, कितने दिन में क्या क्या अटैक हुआ था, कौन सा उसने बचाया है, क्या क्या things उसने block किया है, such kind of things, whether your firewall is doing or not, it is your responsibility to check. Okay. So in identify the operating system, just like you have a firewall, you have a switch, you have a router, you have a server, you have a laptop. So always keep in mind like the firmware or जो भी version है, whether it is based on the supporting version of your firewall, and that OS or that firmware is having any CV based vulnerabilities. Okay, if any CV based vulnerabilities are there, you try to exploit. If that exploit is there, whether you are patching with the newer one or not, with the newer CV based vulnerabilities or not. So such kind of things you have to keep in the mind. You have to audit. Okay, gather and review any reports from the previous audit. Okay, this should help you understand how the firewall has evolved over time while revealing the previous area of the weakness. Okay, so that means like suppose you are auditing it something XYZ, or you are preparing any hardening document for the organization, right? So you have to gather the previous report also. Okay, previous audit में क्या क्या किया था, क्या क्या weakness उन्होंने firewall में दिया था, right? जैसा कि you have a n number of, I think you have some 10 or 12 20 weakness which has been identified the previous auditor in the auditor report. Okay, so you have to check that finding as well as your जैसे कि you have to more focus on those report. Okay, that means 20 के अलावा आप भी क्या करते हो basically. So those are the things also you should keep and review the firewall audits. Okay, and जैसा कि एक identify होता है, ISP होता है, इंटरनेट सर्विस प्रोवाइडर. ओके, सो किस तरह से कनेक्ट हुआ है, क्या क्या पोर्ट्स दिया है उसने, क्या क्या सर्विसेज दिया है. obtain firewall vendor information, जैसे कि if you are seeing recently some of the devices are there which are connected, I mean like vendor is from China, South Korea, etc., etc. Okay, so always you should keep and all the information with respect to the devices. Okay, is there a list of one another firewall administrator? That means like suppose there are 10 users are connected in the firewall. Okay, so that means the all 10 users are properly connected. That means like who are the primary administrator, who are the backup administrator, you have to see. Okay, so these are some of the checklist once you see and you can get an idea. So we just have a review on this. So anyway, we'll upload some of the things in the e-learning mode also. I think what is the time, Atul? Mera time kya hai? I think I'm getting this thing 4:50.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, I think I may stop if
you
any
will continue up to sir 4:50
Yeah,
max 4:58, sir.
Okay. So still 3 minutes are there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can take the questions from the audience if any questions
Yes,
are there with respect to the which I explained. So it is welcome. Okay, any questions are there? You can just ask me.